Welcome. I'm Tracy Smith, and this is Here Comes the Sun, a closer look at some of the people, places, and things we bring you every weekend on Sunday morning. Ralph Fiennes is a veritable chameleon of an actor, having played such varied roles as the villain Voldemort in the Harry Potter films, a Nazi officer in Schindler's List, and the dapper yet deadpan concierge in Grand Budapest Hotel. Fiennes says he gravitates toward characters with inner contradictions, using his own experiences as a springboard into his performances. He sat down with our Martha Teichner.
Have any of the characters you've played affected your life after you've played them?
Characters mark you. There's often a time of a kind of mourning if you've loved playing a part and you've given it everything. It's not that you let go of the part, but you're feeling a kind of mental exhaustion. So you need time to just shake it away.
Later in the show, Ralph Fiennes on wanting to star in a Shakespeare production.
And you don't have a kind of an agenda, I want to be seen having played XYZ over my career.
I have a little bit of that with some Shakespeare parts, I suppose. I think I wanted to be an actor because of Shakespeare, because my mother put on Laurence Olivier's speeches on the record player, and that was my induction into acting. The theatre was Shakespeare, and that's what, when I decided to audition for drama school, it was my one dream was, I didn't think of films, I said I want to play Hamlet.
Then, when artist Noah Verrier posted his oil painting of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on social media, he never thought it would go viral. But now he's carved out a niche for himself, creating works depicting popular junk food that can sell for thousands of dollars. Rita Braver visited him at his home studio in Florida.
You've been called a junk food painter. Mm-hmm. Do you like that title?
It's fine. I mean, I don't call myself that. You know, it's these simple pleasures in life that we've turned them into art. Now you can look at them and you can enjoy them, and there are less calories when you're looking at them.
He takes subjects from his life, from our life. They're very relatable, especially for the millennial generation. These are our still life objects.
That's all coming up right here on Here Comes the Sun. In the film Conclave, Ralph Fiennes stars as the cardinal tasked with leading the College of Cardinals as they select the next pope. It might seem an unlikely subject for a thriller, but this summit at the Vatican is full of intrigue and betrayal. Martha Teichner caught up with Fiennes where Conclave was filmed in Rome, Italy.
The throne of the Holy See is vacant.
In Conclave, based on the Robert Harris novel.
What happened? They say a heart attack.
Ralph Fiennes is a Vatican insider, the cardinal tasked with running the gathering of the entire College of Cardinals in Rome to select a new pope. This is St. Peter's Square, magnificent, serene, the public face of the Vatican. Just beyond it, the Sistine Chapel. Inside, also magnificent, where the election of a pope is concerned, literally, the room where it happens. But as imagined in the film, not serene at all. Conclave is a taut thriller.
How has this been kept a secret for so long?
With a shock of an ending you just don't see coming.
This is a conclave, Aldo. It's not a war.
It is a war.
It also stars Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, and Isabella Rossellini.
It's not my job to go hunting for secrets.
Fiennes, as Cardinal Thomas Lawrence, navigates the intrigue, the treachery even.
You should be careful, Thomas.
Of papal politics. A reluctant player, consumed with doubt.
If there was only certainty and no doubt, there would be no mystery, and therefore no need for faith.
This doubting Thomas is a very Ralph Fiennes sort of character.
I like characters that have contradictions inside them. And Lawrence, as soon as I read it, I love this. This is a human, he's not a saint. He's a good man trying to find his way. I was brought up a Catholic, and then I rebelled when I was 13. My mother was a committed Catholic. So God questions have been in my family since I was a child.
Did you come away with anything answered of your own questions?
No, I came away with more questions. We use that lovely line.
We met Fiennes at a 16th century palace.
You just feel the weight of different eras, different epochs.
Villa Medici, one of the Rome locations that stood in for the Vatican.
So, perhaps it's time you decided upon a name.
In this key scene with Tucci, Fiennes lets slip that even his conflicted character has ambitions to be Pope.
John. I would choose John.
I used to think that acting was about becoming someone else. You changed completely and you were not recognizable. To a certain extent, it can be about that. But as I've got older, I've thought, no, the springboard is yourself.
What will the people say when they see I have returned alone? That I led all their men to their deaths?
In The Return, Fiennes, now 61, plays Odysseus, the once proud king, finally home after the Trojan War.
He's exhausted, he's emaciated, and also just, I think, not at all the warrior.
So, who are you?
He's diminished as a man.
Nobody.
Fiennes had to transform himself physically for the role.
We said he should look ropey, like literally he's been at sea.
Slowly reclaiming his identity, Odysseus finally faces his wife Penelope, played by Juliette Binoche.
What does the Queen think?
The chance to work again with Binoche, a longtime friend, was what convinced Fiennes to do the film, their third together.
We've been given this gift of these famous, iconic parts. It may sound a bit airy-fairy, but I think all actors have, oh, this role has come to me and I meant to do it. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I meant to do this, it's come to me, and this other person is doing it.
I found plums. We have plums in the orchard.
The English Patient was another one of those for both of them. It won 9 Academy Awards, including Best Supporting Actress for Binoche. Fiennes received one of his 2 career Oscar nominations. He's played dozens of singular characters, good and bad, in both films and plays.
The police are here.
In addition to Gustav in the Grand Budapest Hotel,
She's been murdered, and you think I did it.
he was Voldemort, a noseless monster in the Harry Potter series. And a Nazi concentration camp commandant in Schindler's List.
What's a person worth?
No. What's one worth to you?
The need is there, clearly.
We saw Ralph Fiennes most recently on Sunday Morning, on stage in 2022.
And here.
As Robert Moses, supremely confident,
And I did what no one else could do.
power-hungry, the man who shaped 20th century New York City.
You're given a sports car where you can rev it up with anger and contempt, and there's no compromise. And it's shocking, and some people find it, but it's thrilling to play.
Discussing acting, he described the excitement of playing arrogance.
Wonderful. You challenge your audience with it. Argue with me if you dare. You will not win. I know the answer, and that's a great provocation.
Have any of the characters you've played affected your life after you've played them?
Characters mark you. There's often a time of a kind of mourning if you've loved playing a part and you've given it everything. It's not that you let go of the part, but you're feeling a kind of mental exhaustion. So you need time to just shake it away.
I must see her myself.
But only until another role finds him.
The welfare of the sister is my responsibility.
And this conclave is mine.
People sometimes say, what do you want to play? And I go, well, I could tick off a few Shakespeare parts or well-known Ibsen parts, but actually that's not really it. I want to be surprised by a new script, something I've never heard of, and you go, oh yes, oh my God, what is this new thing? I've not heard of it, I've not read the source material, and this all feels good, it feels right.
Up next, an exclusive excerpt from Martha Teichner's chat with Ralph Fiennes, something you can only see right here on Here Comes the Sun. Stay with us. As promised, here's more from Martha Teichner's interview with Ralph Fiennes.
You had a kind of a peripatetic childhood from what I've read, moving a great deal and uncertainty financially with your parents' activities. How do you think all of that affected you and other members of your family?
We've all, I think, I've talked about it in interviews, and I know my brother Joseph has mentioned it in interviews, and where we were loved by two wonderful parents. My mother definitely believed that you must encourage the child to find their way and support them in whatever it is that they leant towards. She didn't like us dabbling. If we did something, if we were going to paint a picture, she wanted us to finish it and not just do half of it. So she was, I remember that being quite a thing with her. We used to joke, she said, get your guts into it. You've got to get your guts into it. Don't sort of dibble dabble around the edges of any project. Get into it.
So whatever you do, do it seriously.
Do it seriously, yeah. And my father was a wonderful, very hardworking, very honourable man who was farming when I was born, but then decided he would become a photographer in his mid to late 30s. And one of his photographic jobs took my parents to Ireland. My parents never hid from us their anxiety about money. So where some parents might have wanted to protect their children from the bank statement, my mother, it was I think treating us as adults. I think you have to understand that this is what Christmas will be this year. There will be just one symbolic gift and that will be it. But we were always loved, but it was over the time, the constant moving of houses and different schools. It gave us all a sense of a kind of confidence, perhaps, but also maybe it set me up well for being an actor, that you're often moving and you often have to spend time away in long locations or in other places.
And you don't have a kind of an agenda, I want to be seen having played XYZ over my career.
I have a little bit of that with some Shakespeare parts, I suppose. I think I wanted to be an actor because of Shakespeare, because my mother put on Laurence Olivier's speeches on the record player, and that was my induction into acting. The theatre was Shakespeare, and that's when I decided to audition for drama school. It was my one dream I didn't think of films. I said I want to play Hamlet, and I suppose having played a few, maybe will I play Prospero again? I've just managed a rather grey bearded Macbeth, so maybe there's a Leontes to attempt maybe. The Duke in Measure for Measure. Yeah.
King Lear ever?
King Lear, yeah. In fact, King Lear I did at school, and I think it's the Shakespeare play I've seen most. I was in it playing Edmund, the bastard son of Gloucester, at the Royal Shakespeare Company in 1990. And I saw a very good production recently at the Almeida, and I'd love to do it. I'd love to do that, yeah.
When you think of your roles, I mean, you threw out a few there with the Shakespeare roles and the Grand Budapest Hotel and The English Patient and so on. Do you have, over the course of your career, things that have turned out to be your favorites?
Yeah, I think there are roles you look back on and you go, yeah, that. I mean, I can't watch films back very easily. I always sort of feel slightly uncomfortable. Oh, that could have been better. I don't know. But you have a sense that something was pretty well realized, and that would be Schindler's List, would be The Constant Gardener, Grand Budapest Hotel, I suppose. But I don't analyze too much the past.
In the Conclave, you get a sense that in the Vatican, choosing a pope, it's a battleground. Is it just one other political battleground, just like every other political battleground? I mean, is that how we're supposed to see this?
Well, Stanley Tucci plays a character who's my friend, and this question's reminding me of a moment where I say, we're not at war. It's not a war. He says, it is a war. And I think that may be true, that within the Vatican there are strong battles about where you take the church. I think that's true. Essentially, the kind of teachings in humility, I think. I mean, but here's this structure of red robes and gold and this ornate. The physical context in which the conclave happens is vast and rich and extraordinary, and the Michelangelo figures, and so it's a context of wealth, worldly wealth, and these holy men.
Supposedly holy.
Yeah, I was going to do inverted commas signs, but some of them are, I think, deeply holy. But they are in a structure which massages their political instinct about the thing they're in, called the church, and it must be a contradiction. And I guess there must be cardinals who are. Doesn't the Catholic Church? It has the safety net. Your sins will be forgiven. So I guess there might be, whatever, I have to do this, I'm a cardinal, I want executive power, this is what, the Pope has to make edicts. There has to be, this is the rule, this is the current interpretation of this text is this, meaning this can happen, this cannot happen. That is like a law. There are laws being made, interpretive laws, and I don't know if I'm talking rubbish here, but I think it all becomes political. And so the simplicity that must be at the heart of the spiritual teachings of any preacher, Jesus or not, it must shift away from that. And therefore, once you have politics and executive decisions, you have wars, you have opposition.
After the break, lowbrow food turned into high-end art. Welcome back. Oil painter Noah Verrier's junk food art, in which treats like popsicles and pizza are transformed into masterpieces on canvas, is a hit on social media, and with celebrities too. Model Gigi Hadid and music producer Benny Blanco are just a few of the famous faces drawn to Verrier's work. Rita Braver saw firsthand just how seriously he takes each painting, down to making the perfect peanut butter sandwich for inspiration.
When Noah Verrier makes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you slice it diagonally, not
diagonally
across, he always debates which side goes up.
I like the jelly on the top, I think.
And he's also finicky about the matter of milk. It looks good, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's not going to consume this snack. Beautiful. He's going to paint it. Now 44, Verrier's career as an artist exploded when he posted a similar painting on the social media site Reddit in 2020. It said that you got thousands and thousands and thousands of likes.
And so many views and comments, and they were pretty much all good at that point.
Then what happened?
We had a huge blow up on Twitter at the time. That was in 2022. It was a grilled cheese sandwich. And that was a huge turning point.
And so from his home studio in Tallahassee, this classically trained artist who used to teach art at Florida State University began turning out paintings. Hamburgers and fries, Chinese carryout, Spam, pancakes, jelly donuts, popsicles, and any number of hard and soft drinks, all sold sometimes for thousands of dollars on eBay or his own website. You've been called a junk food painter. Mm-hmm. Do you like that title?
It's fine. I mean, I don't call myself that. You know, it's these simple pleasures in life that we've turned them into art. Now you can look at them and you can enjoy them. And there are less calories when you're looking at them.
He takes subjects from his life, from our life. They're very relatable, especially for the millennial generation. These are our still life objects.
Andrew Cantella, a New York-based independent filmmaker, was captivated when he spotted one of his favorite childhood snacks called an Uncrustable, paired with his now favorite drink.
All my friends like espresso martinis. I have an Instagram account that represents espresso martinis.
To get it, he outbid 27 others in an eBay auction last summer.
Is it okay to ask you how much you paid for it?
Yes, I believe this one was $2,500.
Similar paintings now go for more than double that. And Verrier has been hired to create works for clients like McDonald's and Domino's. Then there are celebrity commissions. The PB&J we first saw him painting has already been sold, he says, to supermodel Gigi Hadid. And this one, featuring items found at Taco Bell.
Got the Mexican pizza with some flowers and the Baja Blast.
Verrier told us is destined for music producer Benny Blanco, who found him on Instagram.
These are kind of more white.
And Noah Verrier says all this success has given him much to be grateful for.
Thank you for giving me this gift that I can do this. I'm going to try to do it the best I can. And that's just kind of a prayer, I think.
I'm Tracy Smith. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you here next time on Here Comes the Sun.